Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're hearing the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any section using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
Introduction to Structuralism in Discourse Analysis. Introduction to Structuralism in Discourse Analysis introduces readers to the foundational theory of structuralism and its significant impact on the field of discourse analysis. This article outlines the origins of structuralism, particularly in linguistics, and its subsequent influence across various human sciences. It provides a clear definition of structuralism, emphasizing its principle that the meanings of cultural, social, and linguistic phenomena can only be comprehensively understood within the context of the larger structures they are part of. The article delves into the key contributions of prominent figures such as Ferdinand de Saussure and Claude Lévi-Strauss, whose work on language systems and cultural patterns paved the way for modern approaches in understanding human interactions and communication. By presenting structuralism as a precursor to discourse analysis, the blog explains how this theoretical framework helps in analyzing not just the language but also the underlying structures of power, ideology, and social interaction. Furthermore, it discusses how structuralism's focus on relationships within a system facilitates a deeper exploration of how language functions in real-world contexts, thereby influencing discourse analysis's methodologies and objectives. This introductory piece is designed to equip readers with a foundational understanding of structuralism and its ongoing relevance in analyzing contemporary issues within discourse studies. It aims to prepare them for a more nuanced engagement with the texts and contexts that shape human communication and societal structures. 1. Structuralism. Definition and key figures. Structuralism is a theoretical paradigm that emerged in the early 20th century, primarily within the field of linguistics, before extending its influence across various human sciences, including anthropology, psychology, and literature. It posits that the phenomena of human life are not intelligible except through their interrelations within a larger, overarching system or structure. 1. Definition of structuralism. Structuralism asserts that the meaningful understanding of specific elements within cultures, languages, and societies can only be achieved by examining their interrelationships within a broader system. This approach seeks to identify the structures that underlie all the things that humans do, think, perceive, and feel. According to structuralism, these structures are the real things beneath the surface or the appearance of meaning. 2. Brief explanation of structuralism as a theory in human sciences. In the human sciences, structuralism represents a shift from analyzing the visible, manifest content of cultural and social phenomena to uncovering the underlying structures that organize those phenomena. This approach is based on the idea that certain underlying patterns are universal and innate to human psychology and that these patterns shape the cultural and social expressions of human communities. Structuralism suggests that by decoding these patterns, researchers can gain insights into the human mind and the fabric of human societies. 3. Key figures: Ferdinand de Saussure and Claude Lévi-Strauss. Ferdinand de Saussure is often heralded as the father of structural linguistics, a precursor to structuralism. His course in general linguistics, published posthumously, laid the groundwork for structuralist thought by introducing key concepts such as the linguistic sign, signifier and signified, and the idea of language as a system of interrelated elements. Saussure's insistence on the importance of viewing language as a structure, a set of relationships between elements, revolutionized the study of language and semiotics. Claude Lévi-Strauss, a French anthropologist, extended structuralist theory beyond linguistics into the realm of anthropology. Influenced by Saussure's ideas, Lévi-Strauss applied the concept of structuralism to the study of kinship, myths, and totemic systems, among other cultural phenomena. He argued that the structures of human thought processes are present in the patterns of myths, social rules, and customs within cultures. Through his comparative analysis of these elements across different societies, Lévi-Strauss aimed to uncover the universal cognitive structures that underpin all human societies. These key figures, among others, have significantly contributed to the development and application of structuralism across various fields of human science. Their work demonstrates the broad applicability of structuralist theory, from the intricacies of language to the complexities of cultural and social organization. Structuralism, by focusing on the relations and functions that constitute the structures of human thought and culture, offers a profound method for understanding the universal aspects of human life. 2. Structuralism's influence on linguistics. Structuralism has had a profound and lasting impact on the field of linguistics, fundamentally shifting how language is studied and understood. This influence is most notably traced back to the foundational ideas presented by Ferdinand de Saussure, whose work laid the groundwork for subsequent developments in structural linguistics and beyond. Here, we delve into the core concepts introduced by Saussure and explore their implications for the study of language. 1. Introduction to Saussure's concepts of langue and parole, signifier and signified. Langue and parole. Saussure distinguished between langue, language as a system, and parole, speech or the use of language. Langue refers to the abstract, collective rules and conventions shared by a community, enabling individuals to communicate. It represents the social side of language, the system that makes parole, the individual acts of speech, possible. This distinction underscored the importance of studying language as a structured system rather than as isolated speech acts. Signifier and signified. Another foundational distinction Saussure made was between the signifier, the form of a word, its physical sound or appearance, and the signified, the concept or meaning the word refers to. This dyadic model of the sign posits that meaning arises from the relationship between the signifier and the signified, rather than from a direct link between words and the world. The relationship between signifier and signified is arbitrary, meaning that the link between them is not naturally determined but is established socially and culturally. 2. Structuralism's methodological contributions to linguistics. The emphasis on language as a system of interrelated elements led to new methodologies for linguistic analysis. Structural linguists began to focus on the underlying patterns and structures that govern language, such as phonemes, morphemes, syntactic rules, and other grammatical units. This approach allowed for the systematic study of languages and contributed to the development of phonology, morphology, and syntax as sub-disciplines within linguistics. 3. The notion of binary oppositions. Building on Saussure's insights, structuralists identified binary oppositions as a fundamental structure organizing language and thought. This concept, further developed by Claude Lévi-Strauss in anthropology, refers to pairs of contrasting terms, e.g., light, dark, male, female, that structure much of human culture and language. In linguistics, this notion helped illuminate how meaning is often constructed through differential relationships rather than inherent properties. 4. Influence on semiotics and beyond. Saussure's work also laid the foundation for semiotics, the study of signs and symbols as elements of communicative behavior. The semiotic model of the sign, encompassing the signifier and the signified, broadened the scope of linguistic inquiry to include non-verbal systems of signs, further illustrating the extensive influence of structuralism on the study of human communication. Structuralism revolutionized linguistics by introducing a systemic approach to the study of language, emphasizing the importance of underlying structures and understanding linguistic phenomena. While the linguistic landscape has evolved with the emergence of post-structuralism and other theoretical paradigms, the foundational concepts introduced by Saussure and expanded by other structuralists continue to influence linguistic theory and analysis. Structuralism's legacy is evident in the continued emphasis on the structured nature of language and its role in human cognition and communication. 3. Transition to discourse analysis. The transition from structuralism to discourse analysis represents an expansion of focus from the structures of language itself to the use of language in social contexts. This shift builds upon structuralist foundations, applying and extending its concepts to explore how language functions at the level of texts, conversations, and broader discursive practices. Here's how structuralist ideas paved the way for this transition. 1. How structuralist ideas laid the groundwork for analyzing language beyond individual utterances. From long to discourse. Structuralism, with its emphasis on long as the abstract system of language, set the stage for looking at how this system is employed in actual communicative events. Discourse analysis takes this further by studying how language, within the framework of long, is used in real-life situations, parole, extending the analysis beyond phonetic, syntactic, or semantic structures to include the pragmatic and socio-cultural functions of language. The role of signifier and signified in textual meaning. The structuralist concept of the sign, comprising the signifier and signified, provides a foundation for discourse analysis by highlighting the arbitrariness of linguistic signs and the role of cultural and social conventions in determining meaning. Discourse analysis builds on this to explore how meanings are negotiated and contested in different discursive contexts, and how texts themselves become sites of meaning production through the interplay of signs. 2. The emphasis on underlying structures and communication. Uncovering discursive structures. Just as structuralism seeks to uncover the underlying rules and conventions of language, discourse analysis aims to reveal the structures that underpin larger units of communication, such as conversations, texts, and entire discourses. These include narrative structures, argumentative patterns, and genres of discourse, which guide the production and interpretation of texts. Structures of power and ideology. Discourse analysis extends the structuralist concern with structures into the analysis of power relations and ideological constructs within discourse. It examines how discursive practices serve to maintain and challenge social structures, reflecting and shaping power dynamics in society. 3. Methodological innovations inspired by structuralism. Analytical tools and techniques. Structuralism's methodological approaches provided tools for the systematic analysis of language that were adapted and expanded in discourse analysis. Techniques such as segmentation, classification, and the identification of functional units within language have been applied to the study of discourse, enabling detailed analyses of text and talk. 4. Expanding the scope of linguistic inquiry. Incorporating context and function. While structuralism focused on the internal structures of language, discourse analysis considers the external factors that influence language use, including social, political, and historical contexts. This reflects a broader understanding of language as not only a system of signs but as a tool for action and interaction within specific contexts. The transition from structuralism to discourse analysis marks a significant expansion in the scope of linguistic inquiry, from a focus on language as a system to an exploration of language in use. By building on structuralist ideas, discourse analysis has developed into a multidisciplinary field that addresses the complex interrelations between language, society, and culture. This evolution reflects an ongoing dialogue between structuralist foundations and the dynamic realities of communicative practice, showcasing the adaptability and enduring relevance of structuralist concepts in the study of language and discourse. Conclusion. Structuralism, as a theoretical paradigm, has left an indelible mark on the study of human culture, language, and society. Emerging in the early 20th century, it introduced a novel lens through which the complexities of human life could be understood, not as isolated phenomena, but as parts of a broader, interconnected system. This holistic approach, championed by key figures such as Ferdinand de Saussure and Claude Lévi-Strauss, revolutionized various fields within the human sciences, laying the groundwork for future theoretical developments, including discourse analysis. Structuralism's foray into linguistics, spearheaded by Saussure, shifted the focus from individual speech acts to language as a structured system. This paved the way for significant methodological innovations, enabling a systematic exploration of language that extended beyond phonetics and grammar to the meanings and functions of linguistic units. The concepts of long and parole, signifier and signified, and the notion of binary oppositions not only deepened our understanding of language's mechanics but also illuminated its role in shaping human thought and culture. The transition to discourse analysis represents an expansion of structuralism's foundational principles. By applying its concepts to the pragmatics of language use in real-life contexts, discourse analysis explores the dynamics of meaning-making and the power structures within communication. This shift maintains the structuralist emphasis on underlying systems, broadening the inquiry to include the societal, cultural, and ideological frameworks that influence discourse. The enduring legacy of structuralism, manifested in its influence on discourse analysis and other fields, underscores its foundational role in the human sciences. Its holistic approach to understanding human phenomena through the lens of structure has enriched our grasp of the complex interrelations that define language, thought, and culture. As we continue to navigate the nuances of human communication and society, the principles of structuralism remain a vital tool, reminding us of the intricate webs of meaning that connect us all. In conclusion, structuralism, with its profound impact on linguistics and its pivotal role in the development of discourse analysis, has fundamentally shaped our approach to studying language and society. By emphasizing the interconnectedness of all elements within a system, it has provided invaluable insights into the structures that underlie human thought, culture, and communication. As we move forward, the legacy of structuralism and its key figures continues to inform and inspire, guiding us in our quest to decipher the complex tapestry of human life. Frequently asked questions. What is structuralism, and why is it significant in the human sciences? Structuralism is a theoretical paradigm that emerged in the early 20th century, emphasizing that the phenomena of human life are best understood through their interrelations within a larger system or structure. It's significant in the human sciences for its shift from analyzing the manifest content of cultural and social phenomena to uncovering the underlying structures that organize them. This approach offered a new way of understanding languages, cultures, and societies, highlighting universal patterns in human thought and behavior. How did structuralism influence linguistics? Structuralism profoundly influenced linguistics by introducing the concept of language as a system of interrelated elements. This approach, pioneered by Ferdinand de Saussure, led to the development of new methodologies for linguistic analysis, focusing on the underlying patterns and structures that govern language. It contributed to the emergence of subdisciplines like phonology, morphology, and syntax, and laid the groundwork for semiotics, the study of signs and symbols and communication. Who are the key figures in structuralism, and what were their contributions? Ferdinand de Saussure and Claude Lévi-Strauss are two key figures in structuralism. Saussure, considered the father of structural linguistics, introduced the concepts of langue and parole, and the signifier and signified, revolutionizing the study of language and semiotics. Claude Lévi-Strauss applied structuralist ideas to anthropology, analyzing cultural phenomena like myths and kinship systems to uncover universal cognitive structures. Their work demonstrates the broad applicability and profound impact of structuralist theory across various fields. How did structuralism pave the way for discourse analysis? Structuralist ideas laid the groundwork for analyzing language beyond individual utterances by emphasizing the structures underlying language use. This approach facilitated the transition to discourse analysis, which extends the study of language to its use in real-life situations, incorporating the pragmatic and socio-cultural functions of language. Structuralism's focus on the systematic analysis of language provided methodological tools and techniques that discourse analysis adapted for examining text and talk within broader social and cultural contexts. What methodological innovations did structuralism inspire in discourse analysis? Structuralism inspired a range of methodological innovations in discourse analysis, including techniques for the segmentation, classification, and identification of functional units within language. These tools have been applied to the detailed analysis of discourses, enabling researchers to uncover discursive structures, understand the role of language in maintaining and challenging power relations, and explore the interplay between language, society, and culture in constructing meaning. In what ways does discourse analysis expand on structuralist foundations? Discourse analysis expands on structuralist foundations by incorporating the context and function of language use, examining how external factors like social, political, and historical contexts influence language. It goes beyond the internal structures of language to explore how language operates as a tool for action and interaction, addressing the complex interrelations between language, power, ideology, and societal structures. Are structuralism and discourse analysis still relevant today? Yes, both structuralism and discourse analysis remain highly relevant today. Structuralism's foundational concepts continue to influence various fields of study, providing a lens through which to understand the underlying structures of human thought and culture. Discourse analysis, building on these foundations, offers critical insights into the ways language shapes and is shaped by social and cultural contexts, addressing contemporary issues related to power, identity, and communication in an increasingly interconnected world.